YouTube, this is Christy coming at you again. Sorry I didn't give you guys an update a lot sooner. I actually decided to do an update every week, or actually every quarter. I'm still debating on how long I want to do this diet for. I'm leaning more towards doing it for the minimum amount of weeks, being that I have some things that's coming up and I don't want to set myself up for failure. Also, this is my first time doing the diet, so I don't want to over push myself as far as restricting myself to the specific foods that this diet requires. But I just wanted to check in to let you guys know how I am doing. So far, this has been 1 week since I have started the very low calorie diet. Um, I have lost 14 pounds. So I don't know if you can see it in the face. It's looking a little bit slimmer around the bottom area. Some things that I have done to help me. I've done a lot of reading, and HCG Chica, however you pronounce it. She has very good advice on her website. So if you have any questions, you probably could find your answer on her website. I was reading a lot of her different forums, amongst others, and they said that if you experience a lot of hunger throughout the day, that's not typically normal, and you may have to play with your dosage just a little bit. So I tweaked my dosage just a little bit, and since then, I have been doing wonderful. Not saying that you don't get hungry at all, but uh, your hunger should not be like you feel like you want to eat at kitchen table or something like that, and you should only get a little hungry around the time frame that you normally eat. Another thing that I have done as well is portioned out my yeah, hello, say hi, say hi. That's my baby girl. Another thing that I've done to help me is to pre-portion out my meats, not to pre-cook them, but to pre-portion it out. I brought out just a Ziploc bag here, so you guys can see. Like, I made individual bags of like chicken and fish and shrimp, which is the primary meats or the only meats that I eat. Of course, I rotate them, but it helps me a lot to be able to weigh them ahead of time and to go ahead and portion them out in little bags and put it inside a freezer Ziploc bag inside my freezer. So that way, when I get ready to eat, all I have to do is just pull out whichever desired meat that I want and pop it in the oven. I normally cook on top of aluminum foil. I know I told you guys in the previous video about the steam bags. However, I want to recant that because I kind of noticed like a funny taste. I don't know if it's in the plastic or whatnot that they're using, but um, I just don't care for it. So we'll do things the old-fashioned way, the natural way. So you cook on top of aluminum foil inside my oven on top of my flat grill in there, no oil. And for my meats, I just season them and put it right on top, and it cooks just fine. And I do the same thing with my vegetables actually as well. I find it to be even tastier to put it inside the oven in the aluminum foil. You put your broccoli or whatever on the aluminum foil, season it, and put a few drops of water in there. Roll it up and put it in the oven, and it steams just fine that way. But yeah, so far I have been doing pretty well, and for 14 pounds, I'm not sure about the point whatevers. Some people they get caught up on the point twos or the point fours, but I could be 14.2 or 14.4. I'm not sure. I have to go back and check my video or pictures or whatnot that I take each morning and look at the beginning one. But yeah, 14 pounds in 1 week. That's roughly 2 pounds, or actually 2 pounds a day to be exact, and that's pretty good. So I want to say that it's not all water weight, but I'm sure a good majority of it is. And that, again, like I said before, it just goes to show you how much water weight you can pile on, and that you should be conscious about how much water weight you are retaining, because that tells a lot about your diet, as well as your health. So, but yeah, what else? Also, I would recommend checking out some non-fat, non-oil salad dressings that will really help you. I'm actually a chef, so that's why it's kind of hard for me to do this diet, because I'm used to cooking in the kitchen, and not just cooking in the kitchen, but cooking in the kitchen. actually using certain techniques and certain recipes and certain mixtures and things of that nature. Obviously, my foods are going to be a lot more richer. And most chefs like to use butter as well as creams and things of that nature. A lot of fat that adds a lot more of a richer taste to your meal. So, but for me, this is cool. I mean, for short term, like I said, I'm leaning more towards doing the 3 week length, being that I have some things that's coming up. My husband's birthday is coming up. We're going out to Tampa. My older daughter will be down here soon, and we'll have a lot going on then. And I don't want to restrict myself food wise to missing out on that. But at the same time, this is a great tool for me to jumpstart a diet. Well, it is a diet, but to jumpstart my diet, my overall diet, because I'm a firm believer in whatever diet that you choose. I think it should be something that should be manageable for life. This specific diet is not manageable for life. Although they have you transition to phase 3, which is where you pretty much up your calorie intake and incorporate more vegetables and more protein and fats, but no starches and pretty much no carbs. And that's ideal, but at the same time, is it realistic? Probably not. And I think the main thing that people should take away from the diet is that you obviously have to increase your vegetables and your fruits and decrease the size of your proteins, which for Americans, it's easy for us to miscalculate the size of our protein because we're used to having a big steak or a big piece of chicken or a big size of fish or whatnot. The bigger the better here. But as far as our meats, our actual serving sizes are not appropriate to the actual serving size that it should be per meal. So that's another takeaway from the diet for me, is that the protein sizes obviously should be more into proportion to what they should be. But it is a very good tailoring to a diet that you want to have, obviously with incorporating some carbs, and then also with the diet too, it teaches you to pretty much eliminate the refined sugars and things of that nature. So nonetheless, I think I'm going to take that approach. Do the 3 weeks, and then after that I'm going to slowly increase my calories, and at the same time though stick with primary vegetables and fruit, still being mindful of my protein sizes, and then slowly incorporate some carbohydrates back in there. I won't say that I will totally eliminate all carbs or all refined sugars. I think the takeaway message for me at this point is that I must limit the amount that I allow myself to have. So for special occasions, things of that nature, whereas before I started this diet, it was more so on a day-to-day basis. Like every day I was eating refined sugars and eating large amounts of carbs and things of that nature. My background and my heritage, my dad, he's from West Africa, so rice is a staple of his diet or their diet over there. So naturally, it was a staple of my diet. My husband's from Dominican Republic, so rice is a big part of their diet. So naturally, it's a big part of our diet in the household. So yeah, I just have to pay attention to stuff like that. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick update and let you know where I'm at and where I'm still headed. So again, I probably will do it for 3 weeks. His birthday's on the 29th, so I have to stop 3 days prior to that, give myself injections, and then do the 3-day 500 calorie diet to let the HCG pretty much get out my system. Because they said if you were to eat normal, taking the HCG shots or having the HCG in your system, you will gain weight at a rapid amount. But so anyway, I will give you guys another update within another week. Thank you for sticking around, and thank you for your support.
Man, one thing that kind of cracks me up in the world, man, is like cats think that once you become a Christian, all your problems just go away, or you supposed to become some kind of like perfect type dude, man. So I figured I'd just set the record straight, talk to y'all about real life. so y'all can see where I'm coming from. Let's go.
Sinner get your left, so I'm rolling to the right. Get stronger every day, gotta hold on to the light. Yeah, the battle isn't mine, still I know I gotta fight. Cause this flesh has gotta die if I'ma really have life. If I'ma really have.
Talk about some real life situations, man. Hope I don't lose nobody on this one.